Antonio Conte led Juventus to 3 consecutive Serie A titles from 2011 to 2014. This included an unbeaten run in the 2011-2012 season and a record 102 points in the 2013-14 season. Conte's 3-5-2 system was key to the success of Juventus, relying heavily on a back three with the playmaking abilities of Andrea Pirlo. The 3-5 formation featured 3 central defenders, 2 wing-backs, 3 central midfielders, with 1 being a deep-lying playmaker, and of course 2 strikers. Now progressing on to the tactics and the tactical vision, which will be set to custom. Now this reflects a very flexible style of managing that Antonio Conte had during his time at Juventus. His side could often combine good short passing sequences in the central zones whilst also playing those long balls into the channels or in behind the opposition's back line. There was no set style of play or way of playing the opposition. It was very adaptable during the games and during different phases of play. Now progressing on to the defense and the defensive style, which is set to drop back. This was fundamental to Conte's defensive strategy, looking to minimize the threat, minimize the spaces between the lines and of course the defenders, and make sure that they could not be exploited from the opposition. The team's defensive width would be set to 20, allowing for a nice compact narrow structure to be created in the central zones, whilst the wingbacks played a pivotal role in patrolling the wider regions of the field, making sure that the opposition could not generate a lot of offense in those wider zones. As for the depth, it is set to 50, establishing a very solid mid-block, allowing for the central defenders to be very involved in the offensive play while still remaining cautious for any counter-attacks. Now moving on to when Juventus had the ball in their possession and how they would look to set up their offense. So for the ball play going forward, I've set this to balance. Now this integrates both the long ball as well as the slow build-up approach, and this would allow flexibility for either the centre-backs or the likes of Andrea Pirlo to ping those long balls in behind or into the wider channels and get those runners to try and exploit the opposition's back line. With the build-up play being set to balance, it could also allow for those short passing sequences to occur, and of course the effective build-up play from the back, playing those short passes into the centre-backs and having them drive the ball higher up the field and look to just interchange passes with the midfield and progress it slowly further forward. So the chance creation will be set to forward runs. Now this will encourage the 2 strikers, the wingbacks, as well as the 2 central midfielders to advance forward and create overloads higher up the field, being an offensive threat for the long balls in behind. Onto the team's offensive width, and that will be set to 80. Now this will ensure that the wingbacks hug the touchdowns, creating a lot of space in the central zones for the strikers and of course the attacking midfielders to work with and generate offensive movements. As for the players in the box, however, it will be set to 6, allowing for 3 players to be in and around that attacking area as much as possible. Again, if there's a long ball launched into the attacking third or maybe even a cross, you want to have proactive and reactive players in and around that final phase of the attacking play. And then of course the corners and the free kicks will be set to 4. Now moving on to the individual play instructions, starting off at the back with the goalkeeper, who at the time was Buffon, and he'd be set to come for crosses and be a bit more of a traditional based goalkeeper, so he'd be set to having a balanced approach for saving outside of the box. Buffon was well known for his amazing world-class shot-stopping ability and provided stability as well as reliability between the sticks. So moving on now to your defensive line, of course your back 3 system, and in the middle it would have been Bonucci, on the right it would have been Bazzaghi, as well as on the left it would have been Chiellini. Now all of them would be set to the same set of instructions, and of course that would be conservative interceptions. Now what this would do is it would help them not overly engage with the opposition and maintain that shape and structure at the back, making it very hard for the opposition to try and penetrate and exploit your backline area. At the same time, all 3 centre-backs would be tasked with collecting the ball off of Buffon and progressing it further forward, maybe interchanging passes with the likes of Andrea Pirlo in that, deeper diamond block that you will see form on a consistent basis, whilst also inviting the opposition's press onto them whilst playing those long balls in behind and looking to exploit the opposition. Now moving on to the metronome of the side, of course, Andrea Pirlo playing as that deep-lying playmaker, looking to orchestrate the pace of play for this Juventus side. He was also responsible for the ability to spray those long balls in behind into the wider channels, into the strikers, or maybe even into the more attacking advanced midfielders, as well as rotating the play between the midfield and, of course, the 3 defenders. For his role and instructions going forward, he'd be set to having a balanced defensive behavior, stay back while attacking, conservative interceptions, being the deep-lying playmaker, popping up in the spaces, showing for the ball at all times and looking to run the game, and of course cover the central areas. As for your 2 central midfielders, they would be set to box roles, allowing them to be very important and intrinsic in the short passing sequences that would occur, whilst also positioning themselves higher up the field for the long ball threat. They were very important in helping maintain the team's balance and contributed on both the offensive end as well as the defensive phases of play. For their instructions going forward, they'd be set to having a balanced attacking support, stay on the edge of the box, although sometimes you do see them making their way into the attacking area. The normal interceptions would be set for them, as well as cover the wing and having that free roaming role. As you'll see here for the other central midfield, of course, this could have been a Marquisio or a Paul Pogba, and of course the right side would be Arturo Vidal. He'd also be set to the same set of instructions as well. Now moving on to your wingbacks, who had a very important role. They would transition between the attack and of course the defense. Both of these players would provide a lot of the width down either flank, looking to provide crosses and cutbacks and offensive opportunities from those wider flanks, whilst also making penetrative runs in behind the opposition's backline, looking for those longer balls over the top from the likes of an Andrea Pirlo or even a Leonardo Bonucci. So in order to replicate their roles very effectively, they'd be set to come back on defense, stay wide, get in behind, having normal interceptions as well as having a balanced crossing run, sometimes making those back post runs to get on the end of crosses or cutbacks or even the secondary opportunities. As you'll see here for the right wing back, he'd be set to come back on defense, stay wide, get in behind, normal interceptions, and of course, just like with the other side, having a balanced crossing run. Now progressing up top to your two strikers, of course that strike partnership consisted of one traditional 9 who would look to be very physical, very aerially dominant, win the aerial duels and make sure that he was holding up the play, whilst the other striker was seen as a more mobile striker, looking to make those runs in behind on a consistent basis, whilst also looking to drop between the lines and receive passes. Both of the strikers were capable of making runs in behind, looking to exploit the space that the opposition would look to leave in behind their defensive line, whilst also looking to latch on to those long balls over the top. For the role of the right striker, he'd be set to drift wide as well as maintain a mixed attack and of course have aggressive interceptions. The front two of an Antonio Conte system would lightly press the opposition's backline and of course their goalkeeper, just making sure that if there is a mistake or an opportunity, they can look to capitalize on it themselves. And then of course finally, the right-sided striker will be set to come back on defense. So as for your left-sided striker, he'd be set to stay central, play as a target man, and of course have aggressive interceptions, and then finally have a basic defensive support, sometimes being the outlet for a possible counter-attack. And there you go, people. That is how I would implement and replicate Antonio Conte's Juventus tactics into FC24. Of course, as always, we are on the road to 10,000. So if you're not subscribed and you do like the content and you are liking the videos, please make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe as well. That would be absolutely appreciated from yours truly. Now, as for the ranking and rating for the system, I would give it a 6.5. I know it's quite low for such a legendary side, but in terms of FC24 and the playability of that, the offense very much stagnates. You rely on the long ball approach a hell of a lot. The likes of your center backs and of course your deep lying playmaker, they are very much involved in maintaining and rotating the play. And if there's not, many passes further forward, especially if you are playing against a low block, it can lead to quite a few issues, on the offensive end. Defensively wise, very good, very solid, very sound. It works so well. You very rarely concede goals. But the offense, it can stagnate. You are supposed to try and, implement those, short passing sequences. But with the fact that some of your players consistently make those runs further forward, those passing sequences aren't always there. So you are left with just rotating the ball between your defenders and, of course, your deep lying playmaker. So it can, lead to some stagnation in your offensive movements and approach. But it is a very realistic approach under Antonio Conte. So anyways, let's hop on straight into the gameplay segment where we'll look to discuss the gameplay in further detail and how you should look to set up the side going forward. Okay, people, it's the gameplay time. It's time to display the best possible Juventus tactics and show you guys how they played back in the day. The most realistic way that they, set up their tactics and played versus various different opponents. Now, I will say this. I think in a game like Torino, we will look to dominate possession. We will have a lot of passes being interchanged and, on full display. But more times than not, against, teams that would look to dominate, possession and the ball, mainly in the Champions League, Juventus would quite happily give them the ball and make sure it was very hard for the opposition to break them down. Very hard. And make sure that they were just resolute on the defensive end. Not conceding space between the defenders and making sure that they were always in position at all times. Great ball out wide, good ball into the box, and it's a great effort created. As you'll see here, the boys are dropping back into their more natural defensive shape. Duvan Supata this time, he's drifting out wide. What can he do? Nothing, because he's useless. Oh my god, we've turned the ball over so easily. and that will be an offside. Oh my goodness me. I was like, wow, my life started flashing before my eyes. We win it back, and then we just drive it straight into the defender. Sorry, the opposition player. Anyways, it's fine. We go again. Locatelli taking up that nice central zone. Looking for a good switch of play there. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Good ball. Great ball. Look at that. Quick ball in behind there. Little pass across the face of goal. Why did it not go to the closest man? Why? Just very annoying. Anyways, we go. We go again. We look to win the ball back. Locatelli's chasing back. And Gatti looking to just reduce the threat. Quick little ball. Cute angled pass. Wow. Okay. Great ball. And it's a good aerial threat claimed by the goalkeeper. Of course, Buffon. So good at that. Quick ball over the top here into the more mobile forward who takes a great touch to get past his man. Inside on his more dominant foot, and the goalkeeper makes a fantastic save. That quick transition was very much a necessity, a requirement to the success of that attack. Vlahovic that time, and that effectively leads to a great goal for the forward. A very decent start. It needs to be a bit better. The execution needs to be a bit better, but I'm happy with how we've been able to, open up the scoring, be defensively resolute. It was a scary moment there that almost led to them scoring a goal, but it's fine. We have the lead, 1-0 to Juventus, and quick ball over the top here, down the wide channel. Okay, well, we will be continuously playing those balls down the wider flanks. Looking to drive at us. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, boys. Although I have so much confidence in this defense, it's unbelievable scenes. Look at this. Look at this defense. Look at this defense. You could only dream of that defense, people. Only dream of it. Great ball carry. Just, calm things down, recycle possession. Good ball. That's a too much of a straight ball, you could argue. But nonetheless, the run was there. It was looking very good until it wasn't. Anyways, we go again. We build. We go again. Torino haven't been too bad, They offensively, they know what they're doing. They set up to counterattack on us. They set up to try and, break our defensive structure, which is hard to do. More times not a good block from the wide fullback, the wing back. And yeah, it's been very successful on full display. A great save from the goalkeeper. Illich tried. Oh, it wasn't even a goal kick. I mean, a corner kick. It's a goal kick. Wow, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But this is what I mean, though. There's a lot of stagnation in the offensive builder play. So if you don't have those runners, then it stagnates a hell of a lot. Good ball. Good solid play there. Great play. I was looking for the return pass. Oh my goodness me. And that is going to be halftime. 1-0 to Juventus. Yes, it's been good. It's been great. Maybe a few extra long balls need to be played in behind. We need a bit more movement, but this is exactly what I mean, though. Like, the stagnation is a bit jarring at times. So the offensive opportunities aren't always there. But defensively wise, so confident that we're not going to concede a goal. Okay, so at the break, yes, Torino have, established themselves a fair amount in this game. 46 possession to them, with us having 54%. We need to get on the ball a bit more. We need to have Pirlo and the centre-backs dictating the play, drawing that opposition press onto themselves, and then, firing those balls from behind, which we will look to effectively execute in the second half. We've had 2 shots to their 1. We've had a goal expected of 0.8 to their 0.0. Useless. We've we've played 22 more passes than them. We've put in more tackles. They've won more tackles. The interceptions are more or less the same. The pass accuracy is in their favor slightly. The shot accuracy is in our favor. And the dribble success rate is also in our favor. Okay, so as you'll see here for the possession stats at the break, through the first 45 minutes, a lot of the possession has been maintained in that, deeper diamond area, along the back line, and of course in the more central zones. For them, however, it has been down the flank regions and, of course, more so in the central areas. So they are looking to try and, split our defense and try and execute a lot of good offensive passing sequences and movements in those slightly wider areas of our box. But we have very effectively dealt with, the offensive threats. But maybe looking just to nullify them completely, make sure that that doesn't happen. That's a thing that we need to consider in that second half. Okay, so at the break, a lot of the passes have been exchanged between number 5 and the players in and around him. A lot of passes between 3, 4, and 5. Not too bad, not too shabby. Some good play between the likes of Rabiot and, of course, Dusan Vlahovic. Of course, that led to the assist. But a bit more, and we need the flanks very involved in the attacking play in those wider zones. So number 2 and 27, I am expecting a lot more from both of them. Okay, we've kicked off they've kicked off the second half. We're looking to more or less establish ourselves, because I do think that against a team like Torino, who doesn't overly look to maintain the ball as much, we need to try and start dominating them. Okay, just a quick reset there. Well done, well done. The quick long ball, well done into the front line. Not too bad, not too shabby. Great ball. Great ball. Out wide, love it. You love it. I'm loving it. Cambiasso. Oh my goodness me. Okay, well, we couldn't get that to go. That's fine. That's all right. We'll go again. Okay. Bellanova doing a great job, but one of the midfielders picking up that wider run and looking to help support in that wider zone. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Well done. Great ball into the likes of Locatelli. Great ball out wide. You love it. We reset, though. We reset. Not a bad ball. Not a bad ball yet again. We see the back post run of Vlahovic, and it's a great whipped-in cross from the fullback to the striker. Some good find, or a good find from the likes of Locatelli into that wider space, and not a bad start to the second half, at least. That's more or less what you're trying to do here, people. Trying to lull the opposition into a false sense of security, and then you whip it across, and it's a great cross nonetheless, and Vlahovic gets the second goal for Juventus today. Okay, we go again, though. I want 4, 5, and 6. The offense, maybe in the second half, we can forcibly try and improve it. Just looking after the ball, though, is going to immediately improve the offensive outlet for us. Okay, we go again, though. We go again. Okay, Bellanova. They've gotten a lot of attacking threats down this, side, but look who's there. The aggressive fullback. Good ball. Little ping pass, inviting the press immediately. There was a long ball on there for me, but it's fine. It's okay. It's all right. Quick switch. Lovely. Down the flank. Now look to progress it, but they're cutting up the space. Look at this. Torino doing a very good job. First time ball played in. Back pass. Back pass. Bang. Look at that. That's some good passing. Oh, again, look at that. Cambiasso. Great ball. Fizzed in. Was he offside? Oh my goodness me. Stay onside next time, broski. Anyways, that was some good play. Some very good play. They're more focused now on the central zones, vacating the wide areas for us to go ahead and exploit ourselves. They're also playing a back 3 system, which matches up fairly nicely with what we're trying to do here. So a lot of their defensive or natural defensive displays nullifies us. Ball. Great ball. Good ball. Solid ball. First time play. Greatness at its finest. Good ball between the lines. Chiesa with a great shot effort. Beautifully done. Executed perfectly from Locatelli. Between the lines, between the defender. The striker made that run in behind, cutting him open like a hot knife through butter. Oh, beautiful. Simply sensational. 3-0 to Juventus. So yeah, I mean, definitely in the second half, we've displayed a lot more attacking outlets and freedom. 2 goals from open play, not too bad, not too shabby. We've won the ball back yet again. Good pass, solid play, beautiful. Just looking to calm things down. Looking for that good switch to the flank. That's simply sensational. Simply sensational. Just looking to stretch the play a bit. Just looking to stretch the play a little bit here. Greatness in a nutshell. Greatness in a nutshell. Good ball. Oh my goodness me, for the central midfielder. Now, of course, that was either Marquinhos or, sorry, not Marquinhos, Marquisio or Paul Pogba at the time. And very prone to popping off shots from outside of the box. Pogba has scored some absolute screamers back when he was, you know, a superstar in the making. His first stint at Juventus. Wow, sensational scenes. Anyways, good old trip down memory lane. Great ball whips into the box, but it's not meant to be because, you know why? This defense is just too goddamn good. Anyways, we go again. This time, Chiesa spreads it out wide into the midfielder looking for the support run. Great ball into Dusan Vlahovic. Charging further forward. Puts the ball in the back of the net, and it was always meant to be 4 goals. Always. And that is going to wrap up the game. Essentially a fantastic display from the forward line, from the midfield, dictating the pace of play. The long balls in the second half definitely did help, whether it was just stretching the play, making sure that the opposition were kept on their toes, operating the central zones, opening up quite a bit of space for the strikers. Definitely in the second half, I'm happy with, you know, the tactical display. Why is Allegri on my screen? It's supposed to be Antonio Conte. Anyways, we go again, though, for the next set of tactics. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please don't forget to smash that like button. Vlahovic with a fantastic hat-trick. Smash the like button for him. 2 tactical displays in a row where one of my players have gotten a hat-trick. So anyways, until the next time, until the next one, I hope you guys have a damn great day, and I'm out of here.